After a great week of play here in Victoria, we are down to this. It's the championship finals of the men's competitions here at the 2023 Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships, presented here from the Juan de Fuca Lawn Bowls Club in Colwood. As we hear George Kubas sound the horn one last time, we say, hello Canada, welcome to our coverage of this Canadian men's pairs final. As this is John Seitman, joined alongside by a Team BC representative, Ozzie Chambers, for what should be a great matchup here, featuring a exciting battle of some veterans of the sport, as we will have Steve Ogden and Steve Bezanson, the defending champions out of Nova Scotia. They have grinded their way through this competition to make the final once again. The Nova Scotia champions out of the Wanderers Lawn Bowls Club. A grand total of 16 Canadian championships between the two men representing the East Coast. Steve Ogden playing with the Taylor Ace, and Steve Bezanson playing with, I've been told, the Drake's Pride professionals that are older than I am. So, of course, that's not saying much considering the fact that I'm now 26 years old, but it is what it is. And then Ontario A is bowling out at the James Gardens Lawn Bowls Club and Etobicoke Lawn Bowls Club. That's Dave Anderson and Jeff Harding, also very top-notch players. There are 8 Canadian championships between the two of them. Anderson playing with Henselite Tigers and Jeff Harding playing with Henselite Tiger Pros. And, of course, at the end of the round robin, it was a 3-way tie to decide first place in this division, a spot in the gold medal game. It ended up coming down all the way to the differential between the teams in the round robin stage in those games between the two of them, and by the end of it all, it was one shot the difference that brought Dave Anderson and Jeff Harding into this final. There is number 2 seeds behind the team of Ogden and Bezanson. So that's where we come to you today, here from Victoria. So great start to this contest, as we see Steve Bezanson drew one really nice in behind there, and Jeff Harding right on top of him. So looks pretty tight for the shot bowl right now. So Ozzie, as we get started with this game, any opening thoughts on on this matchup there, as we see these experienced veterans ready to duke it out for gold?
You're going to see some great bowls here, which we have in this first end here.
Yep, both leads definitely not wasting any time there. The green's running nice and slick. Of course, we've changed directions for the first time today, so on to probably one of the faster spots on this rink. I played this one against Alberta in the men's 4s, and it was running a treat, so it should be a really good one there for the viewers at home. So looks close there, but we'll see what Steve Ogden has here, probably coming in on the backhand side. Looks pretty loose here. We'll just sail by. Gets a bit of movement on the back bowl of Jeff Harding. Of course, Ozzie, the neat thing in the history books there already is that Ogden and Bezanson looking to solidify their legacy as one of the best teams in the business there, as they've already won 4 Canadian men's pairs championships as a team, looking for a 5th. That is the most in Canadian history. So big shot here in this first end for Dave Anderson. Looks pretty close. Gets a little bit of a nudge on Besancon's bowl at the front. No, Michael, I did not select the game to be streamed. The plan coming into today was, as far as I'm aware of, the pairs tends to be the one that gets streamed on Medal Day first, but it will make sure to try to get a bit of updates on your brother and father and your former colleagues there out of the Regina club there that I know you've coached for many years. So just a bit of movement there on the second bowl of Steve Ogden. So I think they were Ozzy, you can tell me if I'm wrong, it sounded like they were signaling one in favor of Nova Scotia.
Looks like it. Ontario looks to be a little careful, as if they do knock their own out, could be 3 for Ontario or Nova Scotia.
So big second bowl here from Dave Anderson, looking for a good connection. Ends up getting the bowl square, so appears to be shot bowl in favor of Team Nova Scotia. So Steve Besancon calling on Steve Ogden to play the backhand draw, try to skinny the bowl of Dave Anderson's on the side. Could be an opportunity here for multiple to open up this men's pairs final. Looks like it's swinging in nicely there. Steve Ogden looking close. Great effort there from the Nova Scotia champions. So Dave's going to come take a look. I suspect, and I'd be curious your opinion there, Ozzy, probably is just playing it in on that backhand side, try to jiggle some stuff around and maybe be able to pump the jack out to either the side bowls or maybe those back bowls there of Dave Anderson's?
Possibly. I mean, from our view, I possibly would maybe play the forehand, trying to just tap the Nova Scotia a little bit, as they could set a 3 count here.
And of course, we have to remember that all 4 of them are not only great team players, but also great singles players in their own right. Ogden and Besancon, both multi-time Nova Scotia champions, and Anderson and Harding both having previously won the Canadian men's singles championship. So big bowl here needed from, and Dave Anderson looks like it might be close for the shot. And one down there signaled from Steve Besancon, so it will be a 1-0 lead to open up this contest there for Dave Anderson and Jeff Harding. As we continue on with this matchup, we'll give a mention there that we have our 3 other medal games in play, as we have right beside us the men's fours final, which is the defending champions Pat Bird, Francis Standen, Mike O'Reilly, and John McDonald, looking to go for another Canadian title. Again, facing off against the Young Guns from Saskatchewan. That is the team of Jonathan Petulli, Carter Watson, Brandon Watson, and Murray Petulli in that one. Over on rink 3, that is the bronze medal game for the men's pairs. So that is Dwayne Hauk and Jesse Wilkinson of Alberta facing off against the Ontario B team of Mark McFadden and David Defoe. And the bronze medal game over on ring 2 for the men's fours, that is Kerry Manns and his team out of British Columbia facing off against Gary Pickering and his crew out of Ontario B. Reminder again, if you have any questions or comments or just anything, feel free to reach out. We have a Aussie looking at the cameras and our live chat so we can keep in the loop with you. So Kathy, we will do our best to get as much as we can of all the games. Unfortunately, we are trying to focus on one game at a time, so we expect though that since the pairs does tend to go a little quicker, we should be able to get some updates in particularly toward the end on that game especially. Zoom, the answer is yes. David Anderson is playing with his Henselite Tigers, size 4, I believe he told me there before the game. And yes, Preston Lawn Bowls Club, I believe that's Dave Allen, if I remember correctly. Yes, we will keep you up to date, since I know you're looking at the Preston Lawn Bowls Club, and your clubmates, David Defoe, they hold a 1-0 lead after 1 over the team of Hauk and Wilkinson. So we'll try to keep a little quieter there because I feel like with the BMX competition done, we're being able to be heard a little bit more than we were in the morning. We were. So unfortunately, it looks like Steve coming up a little bit short there. I think he bumped in that pole there of Jeff Harding, so down 3 in the head. So definitely some pressure on Steve Ogden to perform on his first bowl. And again, don't forget to share the stream with all your friends. I know we have a big screen up on inside the clubhouse where people have been watching the action from right here. So again, lots of people there today. As I was saying to Ozzy, we've pretty much a whole lineup of people, pretty much every side of the green that you can pretty much fit somebody.
On that pass, probably only need 5 feet once you get into the brow. Yeah. Okay. Come around.
David Anderson, what a bowl. They're coming in on that wide hand. Wide forehand draw.
Oh, yeah.
So Bezanson calling on Ogden to play the backhand. Probably draw down to the side bowl at least, or trail the jack. Looks like he might get some connection. Are you there, Steve? Are you there? We'll get to the edge and we'll just move some bowls around. Anderson coming in on the forehand side, a little bit heavy, so no change to the count. Opportunity here for Steve Ogden to play that nice backhand draw. Try to even draw into the pocket or trail.
Come on, gotta run.
Nice to see Millard Sheridan and Vicky Holland tuning in from Bridgetown, Nova Scotia, cheering on their friends there, Steve Ogden and Steve Bezanson. Nice to see you tuning in there, Millage, and I know you'll be definitely proud of your Bridgetown girls on winning the bronze medal in the women's fours there earlier today. Dave Anderson drawing a good positional bowl there, probably about level with the tee. Big bowl needed here from Steve Ogden. Looks like it should come down there. Oh, unfortunate result there for Steve Ogden, as it looks like it will be count of, it looks like 3. Looks like they might bring.
He's conceded this one.
Looks like Jim Roth will be coming on to. Looks like there might be a ball in a weird position there, so they'll try to get it wedged. As I believe that would be for third shot if they. And they don't want it to move there because, of course, that could be the difference in the measure. There, they've wedged the ball out there. So 2 in favor of Anderson and Harding, and they'll measure on the third. Looks there like it might be in favor of Ontario. Looks like, as we see Jim Roth measure to the bowl there of Jeff Harding's. Back to the one of Bezanson's.
I think so.
And it will be a count of 3 in favor of Jeff Harding and Dave Anderson, a 4-0 lead through 2 ends of play. This should be the third end. Correcting the thing on the board there that says what period it is, and I actually can't find where I put the thing for. Oh, there we go. So, headed into the third end here from Wanda Fuka. We'd like to mention there that the Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships would not be possible without the support of our many national partners. We'd like to thank the Government of Canada through Sport Canada, Kukri, and Nothers the Award Store for your continued support of lawn bowling in Canada. Thanks to all of our partners, and of course, a huge thank you as well to the team out of the Wanda Fuka Lawn Bowls Club, headed by Jack Robertson, who have done an amazing job in putting on this outstanding week of competition. There, I know Ozzy, you've probably known Jack for a lot longer than I have, and I know he's been working morning, noon, and night to make sure there that the players are all happy and able to get out on the green and get their food and everything. And it's definitely paid off with a great week of bowls here in Victoria.
That's for sure, yeah. Jack and his team has done a great job so far. And as the competition comes to end with your last matches of the championships, we would just like to thank all the volunteers and the Wanda Fuka Lawn Bowling Club for their hard work. So
Yeah, they've definitely been doing a great job, and I believe we will probably have Jack coming up later in the broadcast, so stay tuned for that. As we saw Steve Bezanson drawing in just probably about a foot behind the Jack. Looks like probably holding his one. Jeff Harding coming up a little short there, so might force a hand change out of Steve Bezanson. Of course, Steve coming into this final after winning last year's championship in a thrilling victory over Greg Wilson and Derek Dillon in Burlington. I know Steve kind of turned his back on this, but I think it's actually pretty close. Good shot there from Steve Bezanson. He was telling me there, Ozzy, before the game, that those Drake's Pride Professionals that he uses, he can probably make those curl wider than probably any bowl in the world there. Just the way he delivers, one of his 18 billion delivery styles.
And that last one was a prime example.
Yeah, because in general, the professional doesn't tend to curl as much as that, but he knows how to make that thing bend and puts the team in a good position here to hopefully jump onto the board in this matchup. So Dave kind of turned his back on this one, so it looks like it might be a little wide. We'll sail through. And I think I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they might have. I don't know if they rolled this in between games there. I know they did roll in between the first and the second games throughout the week. So the speed definitely will be still quite high.
It is.
I haven't clocked it yet, but I'm pretty sure in past days they were saying that it was running at one point upwards of 15 seconds or higher.
I would believe that.
So Steve Ogden coming in on the forehand side, that really wide bend that you'd expect on this hand. It looks like it's gonna be close. It'll be a bit heavy. Does come to the center line. Thanks for tuning in, Sarah Van Stein, Nora Clark, and Rick Fry. Nice to see you tuning in, cheering on your provincial colleagues there. Dave Anderson, what a bowl. Comes the rest just behind the Jack. It's a big opportunity here for Steve Ogden. Needs to play this one nice and aggressively, as Steve Bezanson said at the other end. So it might come under. Yeah, it'll go through, but still a good opportunity for some receivers. So Dave Anderson going to come in on that same swinging backhand side. Just bumps on the bowl of Jeff Harding, so still the one is the count. So Steve Ogden looking to play this one aggressively, try to go for the receivers at the back with some big weight here. Steve Ogden does push through. Looks like it will be, though, one shot in favor of Team Ontario. Looks close here, actually. So measure coming out there from Jeff Harding. Just checking the front bowl. I don't believe we favored that one. But it will be 2 shots. So Dave Anderson and Jeff Harding take a 6-0 lead in this matchup. There we go. We'll get here. So starting the 4th end here from Victoria, from the Wanafuka Lawn Bowls Club in Colwood. Update of some of the other. I'll see if I can get here our broadcast colleague here, Ozzy Chambers. Can we get an update of the other games that we have in play? Looks like we have some updates after 2 or 3 ends on pretty much all the other rinks.
Yeah, it looks like Ontario B against BCA in the bronze medal fours game. It's 2-1 after 2 for Ontario B. And another close game by Alberta and Ontario B in the bronze medal pairs game. It's 2-1 after 3 for Alberta. And for Alberta and Saskatchewan, looks like a very close game. I believe it is 3-1 Alberta, Saskatchewan over Alberta A.
Yep, I believe that is correct. There is of course, the commentator's curse there of when it comes to streaming, particularly when there's fours in play. There's always going to be somebody standing in front of the scoreboard. So
exactly.
yeah, nice to be able to have our high up angle view here from the sidelines at the Q Center. And I see there Steve McKierhan. Yes, that is correct. Dave with his Tigers and Jeff with his Tiger Pros, and Malcolm White. Nice to see you tuning in, cheering on your provincial colleagues there. And I know Sarah Van Stein is probably tuning in nice and late there from Gold Coast, Australia, as she's down there cheering on her daughter Bailey in her first World Bowls Championship, and we wish her and all Team Canada the best of luck as they get started with the competition. I know Sarah was looking forward to doing some touring around the Gold Coast area leading into the start of Bailey's competition on Monday, I believe, their time. It would be Monday our time, Tuesday their time.
Yes.
And if anybody wants to tune in to cheer on our players, I believe it's 12:45 Eastern time on Monday in the morning. It's going to be Canada's game on the live stream against Team Australia. As you might hear some screaming, that is the zip line here at the West Shore Recreation Complex. So don't be alarmed. There is no issue there. As we see there, back to our feature game, Jeff Harding just moving around a bit of his own, but Steve Bezanson sitting in shot bowl just behind Jack High. So he'll look to swing in on that backhand side, try to draw for 2. Swinging in nicely there. Will it be enough? We'll come to rest center line there, probably just about a meter above. I know, Ozzy, my mom was joking there before the game. Actually, I don't know if she's joking or serious, that she actually was considering going up on the zip line there and celebrating her like her medal win that way.
Oh yeah, I mean, it would be a good one.
Yeah, I know. Fortunately, the Wild Play complex did give a a discount for our bowlers there. I believe I saw that in the ads in the program. So who knows? Maybe some people may take advantage of that for the elite.
Yeah.
So Dave Anderson looking for the draw on that backhand side. Will come to
Quite pretty good, Dave.
rise pretty good weight, just a bit narrow. So Steve Ogden will be playing here on the forehand side, looking to either draw inside of Steve Bezanson's or connect with the ball just thrown by Dave Anderson. Does go through, sitting shot ball still. So Dave looking to correct on this his second of 3 here. Reminder again, 18 ends or 2 1/4 hours, and if we're tied at the completion of the regulation play, we would go one more to decide our Canadian champions. So Steve Ogden coming in on that the forehand side. Looks much closer there. Steve Ogden just go a little bit through. And that's one of the things that we've seen throughout the week there, and I'm sure you'd agree there, Ozzy. Like once it hits some of the dry patches on the green, it does tend to sail quite quickly.
It does.
So Dave Anderson coming in on the backhand side, looking for some connection on Jeff Hardings. Does get it far enough, but we'll still have Team Nova Scotia holding their single. So probably seeing Steve Ogden look to correct on that last bowl. Just has to take off probably about 1.5 meters. Should be pretty good here. It has the legs, will it be enough? Oh, good effort there from Steve Ogden. He skipped the Nova Scotia champions out of the Wanderers to take a single. As we all know, there, Steve Bezanson, quite a fun fellow there out on the green. Always likes to have a chat with the spectator there, or in this case, I guess a color commentator. Great start there from Steve Bezanson there, drawing jack high. I'll just move that over there so that we can see the head. So, update there of the fours final there, because I know people will be definitely following that one as well. A 4-1 lead for Saskatchewan over Alberta A. They're the defending champions. Down early against the team from Regina. Yeah, Meredith, I haven't heard yet of any of the ones going ziplining yet, but again, today's finals day. We could see that happen anytime soon.
I think it should be your mom now.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So Steve drawing one just a few feet behind. Line was pretty good. And it's really nice to see there, especially on a finals day after there's been so much play. The green is playing absolutely pristine. Some really nice wide curl there. And this has probably been one of the more even curls there of any of the rinks there throughout the four, yeah, at least that I've been on. So nice to have it be the one for the championship game. Steve coming in on that backhand side, looks pretty good. Beautiful bowl there from Steve Bezanson. It appears to be shot bowl. Good effort there from Jeff Harding, drawing in to rest right beside Steve Bezanton's bowl, but the shot bowl still belongs to Team Nova Scotia. Nice to see it. I just saw there as we see Steve Ogden and heading down to the head. I just saw there Catherine McGregor, their chair of Bowls Canada, walking around the club. Nice to see her around. And of course, Anna Mies has been doing a lot of work behind the scenes there. Of course, the big announcement there that she'll be finishing up her time at Bowls Canada in October, and we wish her well in her future there. She's been a great part of the sport over the past decade. Steve Ogden looking for a nice draw here. Will it get there enough? It will. Beautiful bowl there from Steve Ogden. So definitely Aussie, would probably say that there's a bit of a interesting change in momentum now that we're a few ends in, and it looks like the defending champions are stalking their way back into this contest.
Yeah, they look a little more alive this time, so as they start their comeback. See if Anderson and Jeff can keep them.
Looking for connection there, won't get there enough. So opportunity here for Steve Ogden. Looks like he's calling on. Looks like Kerry Mans might have been throwing a bit of weight over there on twos. Just heard some oohs and ahs there. But Ogden coming in on the backhand side. Will it get there enough? Will come up to rest a bit short. Nice to see fans of all ages there around the green. As it sounds like I think I'm hearing a little Dr. Dre out on the rugby field.
Yeah, there's a lot of events going around, so.
Yeah, the West Shore has been quite busy there over the past week. I know we saw some rugby, some BMX this morning, and definitely an excellent place to be if you're in the Victoria and Colwood area. Definitely, there's always something for everyone. I know a few players were looking to get some golfing done. Beautiful bowl there from Steve Ogden. Looks like he might be holding a count of 3. Yep, signaling 3 down, Jeff Harding. So, looks like calling on Dave Anderson. Come and have a look.
Yep.
So, Ozzy, if you were Dave Anderson here, what are you looking at if you were them?
I think the shot is just the draw and just try and cut him down. I believe it's maybe a 4 count, but possibly 2 for sure for Nova Scotia.
Yeah, and especially if you can play that backhand side that it seems like Dave's been playing, kind of leaning toward throughout the match so far. There's the opportunity to kind of either utilize that bowl of Jeff's or come to rest to plant the bowl of Steve Ogden's that he just threw.
That is true. I mean, Dave does have the back if he does decide to go crazy. So
Loeb playing a bit aggressively here, looking for the jack. Gets a connection there, but unfortunately it was sailed by. It looks like 3 out for sure.
Great effort by Dave there.
Unfortunate result there for Dave Anderson, but it looks like it would be a 3 for the defending champions out of the Wanderers Lawn Bowls Club in Halifax. So there we go, a 6-4 lead after 5. I would like to take a moment there once again to thank one of our other sponsors there, Kukri Sports Canada, for being the official national team kit supplier of Bowls Canada, the leading global sportswear provider dedicated to delivering superior products and exceptional service driven by a deep understanding of the athlete's journey from grassroots to performance sport. And we'll look forward to seeing their uniforms on our national team athletes leading into the World Bowls Championship starting this upcoming week. We wish our Team Canada the best of luck. So Bezanson coming up a few meters short, so opportunity here for Jeff Harding to make a nice correction here. And of course, it's nice to see a whole pile of people still sticking around from all the teams, cheering on their fellow competitors and still wearing their provincial shirts. I see Heather Hanoski out there from Saskatchewan. I can't remember the name of the one there, but I think might be Randy Kenning there from Manitoba. And I think I even see Cindy Higgins over there for Ontario. So nice to see people there. The closing ceremonies will take place following this matchup. So stay tuned for that. We'll have full coverage of that. Maybe not with commentary as much from me, because I'll be headed downstairs alongside the rest of the athletes that competed in this championship. Maybe Ozzy might stay up and run the cameras a little bit. Maybe
we'll see if I get the nod. So you guys.
Maybe we might have some helpers out to keep the coverage moving there for that. But either way, we'll be definitely having that in as we see Steve Bezanson. Nice correction there with his third. Comes to rest of probably just about 2 feet above. As looks like there might have been a little bit of a disturbance there. So Jeff Harding just going to reset. Might have been a disturbance around just behind the head. I know, of course, the main entrance to the club is on the main sidewalk there leading into the arena. So, yep, looks like there's some words between the players, but again, nice to see there's some good sportsmanship there. And that's one thing that's nice to see from all the teams. There's been some win, lose, or draw. They've had some awesome stuff to watch, whether it be seeing the guys out of Quebec, David James Smith's crew, and they were absolutely loving being here. I know the other one that was nice to see was seeing New Brunswick back in the Nationals on the men's side. There was Mark Beeman and Wayne Hossack. Hopefully we'll see much more of that next year with Team Maritime, as we see Steve Ogden comes to rest just over a foot above. Dave Anderson trying to get in there nicely. Will get there just enough to be holding the single shot. Looks like Byzantium calling on Ogden to play pretty similar shot, I think. Comes wrestling a little bit short. Line was good.
Ollie, come on, you got a bit lucky with the last one. It was on its way to the drink.
You might have heard there a little bit of a candid comment there from Jeff Harding that Anderson might have gotten a little bit fortunate there with the position there of his last bowl. So that one will go through. Shot bowl still belonging to Ontario. So I don't know about you, Ozzy, but I think I could see Nova Scotia playing a bit aggressive at this. There has some opportunity.
Yeah, it looks like he has some pretty good weight in contact with that, but just the line.
Sails wide.
Never know it could flop.
Unfortunately, on this rink, once it gets probably to about the 2/3 way point of the rink, if it goes a little bit too heavy, it will just sail right on by.
Maybe.
Looks like Dave Anderson coming up a little short, so one is the count in favor of Ontario A. So a 7-4 lead for Dave Anderson and Jeff Harding. Through 7 ends of play. I'm sorry, correction, through 6 ends of play. It's been a long week there, Ozzy.
It has been.
But it's been an enjoyable one here. It's nice to be back here at the Juan de Fuca Lawn Bowls Club. I know they've held many Canadian championships in recent years, and it's great to be back here one more time, and I'm sure we'll be back in the future for sure. And don't forget, for any of our viewers who are still looking to keep up with some of the bowls action in Canada, in a few weeks there will be the next step on the Canadian Championship circuit, as it will be the Canadian Senior Triples Championship from Commonwealth in Edmonton, and the Canadian Mixed Pairs there from the home of Steve Ogden and Steve Byzantium there, the Wanderers Lawn Bowls Club in Halifax. Both those running September 12th to the 16th. Don't know yet about any live stream coverage yet from either of those, but definitely stay tuned for photo updates and results and everything in between. So Bizanza coming up a little bit, probably uncharacteristically short. Hi Ralph, nice to see you tuning in there, cheering on your provincial colleagues there. And thanks to our viewers there for reminding us to change the cameras there. We definitely jumped back in there with that. And Ben Rockman, the speed of the green has been probably hovering between 15 and 17 seconds there.
I would say so.
Yeah, it's been running nice and slick, especially it tends to be that the rinks closer to the end have been playing quite fast there compared to the middles. So definitely produces some good stuff there for the viewers at home, having a game like this on a rink like Rink 5 here. So Jeff Harding there coming to rest Jack high. Bizanson looking to match him there. Looks pretty close here. Will he get there enough? We'll just get a little bit of a thin edge. Unfortunate result there for Bizanson, as he looked like he had a pretty good line there. But holding two is Anderson and Harding out of Ontario. Yep, Ben, yes, that is a very fast speed for a green, especially in Canada, and we can definitely thank the crew here at the West Shore Complex and the greenskeeping crew for all their hard work to get the green up to this amazing championship caliber speed. I know, and I'm sure Ozzy you'd probably know, because if I remember correctly, you're a member here at this club there?
I am, and also at the White Rock Longline Club, so those are my twos.
So you'd probably have seen all the preparations there of them getting this green right up to national championship speed there throughout the season.
Yeah, he has a lot of equipment, and also you can take the sun to dry it out this year. So
yeah, definitely some very warm temperatures here, and unfortunately, of course, some wildfire situations there on the mainland, and we're thinking of all of our bowls community and the communities affected as they deal with those very dangerous situations. We've been fortunate there. There were only a few days that it was a little bit smoky, but other than that, not much of an issue there in relation to this contest. I know Anna has been following all the air quality warnings and everything to make sure the players stay safe. Looking for a big draw here, Steve Ogden. Wow, what a ball. Comes to rest just probably a foot or so behind. It looks like one in favor of Team Ontario at least. Oh, calling a measure, so might be closer than we think.
Is this better though? Jack. Is this better? If I kick the jack. If I kick the jack that way, it's good, isn't it? If I kick the jack.
So looks like Jeff Harding wanting Dave to play the forehand side so that there's chipping the jack could go in the favor of them instead of on favor of the ones from Nova Scotia. So final bowl for Dave Anderson and his They're looking for connection. We'll get some movement. Definitely produces some challenges for Steve Ogden.
One down, Vanna. Hold.
So looking like he's calling for the draw. So that will be a important shot here for Steve in the final bowl here of end number 7. Looks close. Get the connection. Well, looks like he might. Always entertaining to watch there, Steve Bezanson, as it will be a single shot in favor of Dave Anderson and Jeff Harding, as they'll take a 4-shot lead here. At the Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships men's pairs final. So I see there Jeff Childs asking how long the two Steves have been playing pairs together. Seems like a lot of years. To answer your question, I believe they've been playing on and off since about the early 2000s. Of course, they had many times there where Steve Ogden or Steve Bezanson would play in the singles. So, of course, it used to be there, of course, that you couldn't play in both the singles and in the team events. But pretty much, I believe, the early 2000s was when they started playing pairs together. Of course, both of them having won many times before, whether it be Steve Ogden's national ones where he played with Rob Krebs there in the national curling coach there out of the Saville Center there. I believe he also coaches the University of Edmonton, I believe they're the curling team there. But now playing with Steve Bezanson and having quite the run there. They are 4-time Canadian champions as a team. But pretty impressive, especially when you think that I believe, if I remember correctly, they won this title one of the last times that it was here. There, because it was like about 2009 that they won the national title, defeating an Ontario side in that game.
I think 2009 was for sure one of the years. Can't remember if it was 08 or 9 and 10 that they repeated.
Yeah, they did in 2009 and 2010, because I believe 2010 was in London.
Yes, then it was that.
Actually, I may be forgetting there. It's been
a while.
It was a little bit before my time playing competitive bowls there. So Steve Bezanson comes up probably about 2 feet short. The shot bowl still belonging to Team Ontario. So as we near about the halfway point in our matchup, Ozzy, can we get an update on the other 3 games here as we look to getting closer to our men's medalists here?
So our BCA against Ontario B, it's 7-3 in the bronze medal game. Alberta against Ontario B, it's 8-7 after 9 in the bronze. And for the 4s gold medal game, Alberta A, believe it's 5-3.
Actually, I think I might have seen a 6 there on the Saskatchewan side. It's a pretty close margin there in that matchup.
We will keep you updated if we do. So it is 6-5 for Saskatchewan over Alberta A. And this featured match is Ontario A against Nova Scotia, which Ontario A has an 8-4 lead after 7.
So it looks like here Dave Anderson will be coming in on the forehand side. Of course, Dave had quite a thrilling run in the Ontario Championship. I know, if I remember correctly, it was an extra end to decide the winner there, and it came right down to the last bowl there before he produced a great shot to pick up the title and book his spot here at the Nationals. Big shot here needed from Steve Ogden, looking for a connection on Besancon's bowl. Will just go right by. Jeff calling to just give the ball a friend there, so draws another shot. Will it run its course? It looks like it won't. So shot ball still belonging to Team Ontario, sitting 1. Looking like a good adjustment there. Will it get through? Won't do so. It will just come to rest up in front.
4 feet on your last. We'll just time the rest.
Yeah, Steve McKieran says he thinks that Ogden and Besancon first won in their first men's pairs title at the national level in 2002. And Aussie's on the page, so he might be able to.
So yeah, it was 09, 010 was their repeat. So
yeah, because I know they were excited because it was. Actually, I think they won a few in a row because they also won it, I believe, in 2011 in Montreal.
Yeah, 2001 it looks like was their first one.
Oh, that would have been Rob Krebs there. So
Yeah, with Steve Ogden.
2004 probably, maybe? Oh no, that was the Bester years. Oh, there, 2009 was the first year that they won the national, but they were a long time.
The ball comes down.
There's there in this. Oh, they just plays off on the side there. So 1 shot in favor of Ontario A. So that will be a 9-4 lead through 8 ends. As we hear a great shot there, I believe, from Jonathan Batuli. Always one of those challenges, like especially when like we do watch a lot of different sports there in addition to our bowls, but I like to see, similar to a curling event, to have 4 games going on, and there's always a good shot happening on every single one of them, and tough to watch one without missing another. But we'll do our best to bring you all the action here. Of course, nice to see a lot of great experience on the rink here for finals day. As of course we mentioned, 16 Canadian championships between Ogden and Besancon, 8 between Anderson and Harding. I know many titles there from the Fours rink. Dave Defoe had a great run there, of course, making a silver medal in the singles there earlier in the event there to Pat Bird, and then of course Kerry Manns and his crew, many championships, and Gary Pickering doing well, of course, on the World Bowls Tour during his runs, including, I believe, he defeated Alex Marshall during one of his runs there over at Potters. So Steve Bezanson looking to swing in on that backhand side, try to draw another holding shot bowl. Will come up short. But great line there on that one. It's definitely different to see there because Steve is used to being that jovial personality there, and he's definitely it's a different mindset going into a gold medal game. And of course, you've had a little bit more experience in that than I have. I've only been in one. I believe you've been in at least 2 or 3, I believe now.
Yes, at least 2 now, if I can remember.
Yeah, because you were definitely in the final in Winnipeg, and I know you were in the final in Regina there this year.
Yep, both against Eric. So.
Both against Eric Gallipo, one of our competitors in the fours event. I know he was quite excited to get back here and compete in a national championship. He was Ontario B last year and ended up having a great year. His crew plus Gary Pickering won the WOBA tournament there, and oh, what a bowl there, Steve Bezanson. Draws jack high, looks like at least 1 shot, maybe 2. And nice to see again, large crowd here to cheer on the players. If you're in the area, I know we're getting about to the halfway point in this matchup, but if you are anywhere near the Juan de Fuca Lawn Bowls Club, get on down here to watch the conclusion of the games. But if you can't, me and Ozzy are here bringing it to you right till the very last bowl. And even then, they're all depends on how long it takes to get the celebrations going to close out the week. So Dave Anderson looking for a draw on the forehand side. Will come a little heavy. Stephen Young, I believe, if I know my names correctly, you're looking at the British. You're wanting to know the British Columbia bronze medal game there. That will be an 8-3 lead in favor of Kerry Manns of British Columbia over Gary Pickering of Ontario B. Great weight there from Steve Ogden as he just comes a little bit narrow. Fortunate to not get any connection with that front bowl of Jeff Harding's. Big opportunity here for Steve Ogden, looking to come around, probably play that backhand side that he's been pretty much relying on most of the game. Try to draw around to get to his 2-shot bowls and maybe snag a 3rd shot.
Oh, good effort here.
Good effort. Harding signaling 2.
Ball's good.
So Dave Anderson trying to come in on the forehand side. Will it hold up enough? Looks like it won't. It's a big chance here for the Nova Scotia champions out of the Wanderers Lawn Bowls Club to make this matchup a much tighter contest here as they're down by 5. I suspect there Steve playing out a little bit intentionally wide, trying to just be a bit more defensive. So 2 and a look. So 2 definitely out, and Jeff Harding will get the tape out for a potential 3rd point. favor of Nova Scotia.
Two.
So signaling 2 shots in favor of Nova Scotia, so it'll be 9-6 in favor of Anderson and Harding. And that's at the halfway point in this game. Just do this, 10th end. There we go. So 3 shots is the margin as we hit the halfway point in this matchup. So thank you very much for tuning in with us. This is John Simon, joined alongside by Ozzy Chambers for the men's pairs final. This is Steve Ogden and Steve Bezanson versus Dave Anderson and Jeff Harding, a battle of the legends their respective provinces, duking it out for the gold medal here in Victoria. So as we get started at this end, I think you were taking a look there at the men's fours final there. Can you give us any thoughts on how that game's going there right next to us?
It's looking fairly good, back and forth between Saskatchewan and Alberta. Saskatchewan holds a couple, I believe, in the head, as Saskatchewan has the 7-5 lead in the game, though.
And of course, Carter Watson has been on a devastating form there in the past few days. They're just, especially with his runners, he's been absolutely top notch there at playing advice for the Saskatchewan champions. So Bezanson looking to correct on that last bowl of his that came up just about a meter short. We'll just add about another foot or two to that. Here's the V-sitting shot bowl. Looks like we see some more of our players coming in to watch the games. And now we saw Jen McDonald and John's little one Everett coming in to watch the game after a lunch break. And Raymond McDonald over there from Team Nova Scotia. Nice to see him back in after he had a nice little round of golf this morning. So probably we'll see Braden and Liam Campbell there as well. So Bezanson coming in on the backhand side.
Hey buddy, big ball here. We're all a yard in front of me.
A bit of a challenge there, Ozzy, because they're playing that nice long length, but it seems like they haven't been reaching as much.
And it is a bit tricky with it being, I believe, on the 2 meter mark from where I'm looking at, so everything past that is pretty much either on the lip or in the ditch. So only one Nova Scotia in the head, so Nova Scotia looks to add to get closer to the Ontario 9.
Yeah, you'll definitely want to see Steve Ogden make a nice correction on this bowl, try to get one nice and close, put the pressure back on to Dave Anderson. Playing in on that backhand side. Once it hits that patch, it starts to come down, so it looks like it should be in a good position here. Steve Ogden.
Just narrow.
It's a little bit narrow and still moving. It's still moving.
Exactly like I said, almost in the ditch. Just in front of the bowl, sitting on the lip.
that's the thing that's so impressive is that the ones that are making these finals, they're really able to control those pass in toward it on the slick stuff. And that's been the difference. Well, I see Greg Wilson saying there that he could see some people definitely taking a look there at Ogden and Besançon and Pat for future Commonwealth Games, of course. They're definitely always in the top of the standings here in Canada, so you never know. I'll leave that those things up to the crews like Ryan Stadnick and his crew at the National High Performance Committee. They know more about that side of the sport than I ever will.
Great ball, Hawk. Inch wider.
So Besançon calling for just about an inch wider. He doesn't need to correct on much. Going out quite wide there. Yeah, once it gets into that patch, that's as far as it's going to go.
Your ball was nearly perfect. You want to play at this hand? Okay.
So it looks like Dave going to still stick with that backhand line that he's been playing with a lot on this side. Looks pretty close here, Jeff Harding and Dave Anderson, but wow, it just comes to rest a little bit behind. Big chance to snag a multiple. Final bowl for the Nova Scotia champions out of the Wanderers Lawn Bowls Club in Halifax. Looking pretty close here, Steve Ogden. Looks like it might be enough to snag his two, so pressure on to Dave Anderson from James Gardens. Some quick action there from Anderson, looking to get down there enough. Will it hold on? It got there just enough. So it will be a single in favor of Dave Anderson and Jeff Harding. So 10-6 is the margin. There, so we head into the 11th end. There, we'll just zoom into the head there, get a little bit of a good angle here for you back on our televised broadcast. 10-6 is the score line here. Favor of the Ontario champions, as Anderson will cast the jack into the ditch. Of course, for any of our viewers not familiar with a bit of the basics of the game there, of course, the jack has to be at least 21 meters, but it also has to remain on the green in order to stay legal. So in the case of Anderson throwing and Harding having the jack thrown into the ditch, Steve Besançon got the chance to roll the jack himself and set the lane for his team's liking. So Ogden and Besançon going with a bit of a shorter length there that they're quite known for. So I expect to see an interesting end here from Steve Bezanson, because I know he loves playing this short length, especially on a fast green. Jeff Harding looking to correct on this one, try to get one in within that foot range there, and we'll just trail the jack back, sitting 1-2. So Bezanson looking to play through the port. Try to either rest the jack or rest either bowl. Looks pretty close here. Steve Bezanson.
Great bowl.
What a bowl from Steve Bezanson. Sit shot. Oh, what a great shot under extraordinary circumstances here. Down by 4 in the championship game here in Victoria. We thank you very much for tuning in as we watch this clash of the champions here between Nova Scotia and Ontario A, as we see Jeff Harding draw probably about a meter through. So Ogden calling on Bezanson to probably play that nice swinging draw line. Looks like he's just come under. So sitting shot bowl is a Steve Bezanson still out just about a bowl above jack high. Rick Fry, thank you very much. Really appreciate the comments. Ozzy and I have enjoyed bringing the coverage to all of you throughout the day. Of course, thank you, Ozzy. There, you've been doing. I watched the broadcast during the round robin stage. You did a great job there alongside our broadcast colleagues Ryan Stadnick and Laura Seed.
Yeah, it was good calling the game this week and seeing some great goals and some great players show their stuff. So
yeah, unfortunately, the TV rink has been full of great matchups throughout the week. I was quite happy to be on there, even if I might have thrown an errant bowl or two, but it is what it is. As we see Dave Anderson trying to play a bit of a weighted bowl to try to trail the jack. We'll go a little bit wide through. So Bezanson calling on Ogden to draw through the port, try to get to the back bowl of Jeff Harding's. Looks pretty close. Will he even draw a second? Might be there. Great shot there from Steve Ogden. So Jeff Harding signaling one down. So looking for the trail. Hitting that patch there. Will it get there? No, it won't.
I don't mind that now either.
Thank you very much, Vicky Balcom, tuning in from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, cheering on Steve and Ogden and Steve Bezanson. Just got a message from her there. She's enjoying the coverage. So Steve Bezanson calling on Ogden to play the forehand draw. Looks like comes up a bit short. Puts a bit of pressure on Dave Anderson, as now he doesn't have as easy a trail because that other bull is in his eye. So, as we'll see there, Dave Anderson coming down to take a look at the head. And as you can see there, probably a good half still on there from the shot bowl of Team Nova Scotia. You'd expect there Dave Anderson to definitely be in the area on this one. He was just off twice on that path. Looks like it will be tight there. Will it get a little bit of a movement there? So here's the question there, Ozzy. So after awaiting a trail here or there for Ontario, is it possible you might see Ogden play a little bit of an aggressive move, try to move the jack probably about a foot, and that might be enough to make 4?
It would be a good end for Nova Scotia. It's a little tough to get that Ontario one out.
Well, probably he has to trail the jack back probably to that back bowl there if he is just behind. That should be enough.
Should be enough, which I believe he is going for.
Big opportunity here to try to score his 4. Steve Ogden.
Great ball.
Great effort there from the Nova Scotia champion. So definitely one out. Taking a look at a second there. We'll probably see Jeff's going to get the tape out for this.
Update on the men's fours. It's 7-6 for Saskatchewan over Alberta A, playing the 10th M.
And if any of the viewers wondered there if they might be late tuning into this matchup, no, we do not have any screaming people at the bowling club there today. That is the zip line at the Wild Play Adventure Park just behind the club. They've been quite busy throughout the week as we see umpire call. So looks like George Kubas making his way out alongside one of the assistant umpires there for the week.
Yeah, we would also like to, give a big thanks for George being the chief umpire the last couple of years here, as this is his last match as chief umpire of Canada.
Yeah, he's been a great supporter of the sport, having umpired at many past national championships, and we wish him all the best. He's been a great chief umpire, and we'll look forward to seeing who gets named to that position in the future.
Yeah, I did have a little talk with him before this game. He said he wasn't done umpiring though, so you will see him around though.
I suspect we'll still see him around, and knowing an umpire like him with the skills that he has, I would not hazard to guess there that, who knows, maybe a future internationally. I know we have been fortunate enough to have two umpires there at the international level there that have gone on to become ITOs. There, I know Nick Watkins in the past has officiated at multiple international events, and I forget her last name, but Shubra, out of Regina, I believe she's there pursuing a master's degree at the University of Regina, but she's an international official originally from India.
Yeah, I did get the honor of, getting a couple measurements. That maybe one of my favorites when I was out there, but she is a great umpire and personal experience.
Yeah, and she's on her way to the Gold Coast to officiate at the World Championships, so we wish her all the best. She'll be a great official there, as that event will take place out of Broadbeach, Helensvale, Musgrave Hill, Paradise Point, and Mudgeraba. I definitely encourage any of our viewers, if you're ever looking for a way to improve your game, definitely get down there to the Gold Coast. It's a great opportunity to really test yourself against the best in the game. I know I've been fortunate enough to play now in, I believe it's now 7 Australian Opens. No, 6 Australian Opens there. And it's amazing greens, amazing competition. Fairly similar conditions, honestly, to what we've been seeing this week. So, as we get back to this game, 10-7 lead in favor of Anderson and Harding, but Nova Scotia definitely plugging away here with 7 ends to play. So close game over there on the rink number 4, as it's an 8-7 lead in favor of Alberta A over Saskatchewan in the men's fours final, and it looks like there might have been a jack in the ditch there, so I know the various fours teams skipped by Jonathan Batuli have been known to play quite aggressive like that, so not surprised to see a bit of jack movement over on that rink.
Yeah, that drive by Carter, which you were saying, he did some good drives in the round robin here. That bowl and knock to the ditch was a really good one to benefit Saskatchewan with 3 right now with jack. Back to our featured game.
Oh, Mark Robar says a 2002 Ogden won with a different lead. Not sure when these two Steves won their first there. And Ryan Stadnick jumped in quickly and said that they beat Wayne Wright and myself in 2009. Good shot. They had one more before that, and I believe we confirmed there it was that 2001-ish with that Steve Ogden won with Rob Krebs. And Karen Will, the score of the men's fours there, yes, 8-7 in favor of Alberta. But looks like there will be a definite change in this matchup over there, so we'll keep you up to date. As back to our feature game here, 2 shots in favor of Jeff Harding and Dave Anderson. Probably looking to see Steve Ogden play that swinging backhand side there. Both sides have been moving quite wide there on the curl. So first of 3 bowls here for Steve Ogden.
Come on, bud. Come on, bud. Stay up. Stay up. Stay up.
Looking close here. Will it get there enough? Will just come a little bit inside. But still shot ball belonging to Team Ontario. Well, it looks like seeing a few more players make an appearance. I see David James Smith and Eric Gallipo up on the second floor of the club. To be perfectly honest, this is my second national championship event, and I've still never found my way up there to the second floor of the club. So maybe might pop by to say hello there after the games are complete. But we're still a long way off from that one there, as Dave Anderson will look to add a second one here. Comes to rest a few feet in front.
Tougher now. You want to play a little benders through here? You're done coming in. Pick the ball.
So Bezanson calling for a little bit of a swinging weight there on the forehand side.
Coming up. Yeah.
Looks fairly close. Will you get there, Steve Ogden? Great effort there to sit second shot. Shot ball still remains Team Ontario.
The last weight was good, David.
So Dave Anderson been called on to play the backhand draw. That swinging draw line that we've seen move quite well throughout the game.
Big ball here.
Great ball by Dave Anderson here.
What a shot.
Bad result from the Nova.
Good luck, buddy.
So holding one is Team Nova Scotia. Expect to see probably a fairly similar draw shot as Steve did call on Augie to play inside of the red bowl to try to draw a second shot, put Team Anderson and Harding under some pressure leading into their final bowl. Expect to see this swing nicely here around. Are you there, Ogden? Are you there? It looks like it might have just come a hair short.
Great shot.
So shot bowl still belonging to Team Nova Scotia. Down by 3. 7 ends to play here from the One Fuka Lawn Bowls Club 2023 Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships. And I know Jack Robertson, who's somewhere around here, it would definitely want me to send a huge thank you to everyone, whether it be the crew at Bowls Canada, Bowls BC, Bowls South Island, all the many volunteers who have been instrumental in putting this event on. I know I've seen ones everywhere, whether it be from Oak Bay. I've seen Oak Bay, I've seen Sydney, I've seen Canadian Pacific, and that's all just in the past few days. There I see Braden Campbell just made an appearance up on the second floor of the club. I see him with Eric Gallipo there. Nice to see him back cheering on his Nova Scotia colleagues out of the Wanderers Club. Final bowl here for Dave Anderson, down in the head by 1 shot, up by 3 on the board. Final bowl here, and number 12, Dave Anderson out of the James Gardens Lawn Bowls Club in Toronto. Will come up a little wide, so a 1 shot is in favor of Team Nova Scotia. So you start to see a change in this matchup as we head into the 13th end. Currently past 4 ends, it's been a 4-1 shift in the scoring in favor of Team Nova Scotia. The defending champions down by 2. Lots of game left there over the next 6 ends of play here from Juan de Fuca. We hope you're enjoying all the action. Don't forget, if you have any questions or comments there, feel free to put them in the chat. We'll do our best to follow that along throughout the course of this game. Yeah, nice to see there as well. In between games, I saw Shelley Seidel and her daughters Jamie and Sherry over there at the Taylor Bowles booth. Sherry, of course, a accomplished junior player there. She was one of the few ones to ever win 3 Canadian championships in a row there. So nice to see her there. She played quite well for Team BC last year in Burlington. And then, of course, Jamie, a multi-time competitor in the under-25 circuit, having won the 2013 Canadian Championship. As we see Bazanson sails on through. He almost picked up the jack, but unfortunately will sail right by. So he'll look to make an adjustment on the next.
Position now. I want you up just a little bit wider. Weight is good.
So Ozzy, if you're David and Jeff, you're currently now, the past 4 ends haven't particularly gone your way, but you still have a 2-shot margin. What are you doing right now if you're them to try to hold off a team like Arden and Bazanson?
Get some on the jack, get some behind, basically just try and protect the rink. Just try and take away their shots when there's an opportunity for them to get possibility back into these games.
Yeah, and I see there Malcolm White. How many ends are the games? The games today for the pairs, there are 18 end games, or 2¼ hours. If we're tied at the completion of a regulation play, we would play an extra end to decide the winner of the matchup. And Stephen Young asking for an update on the other teams as well. We'll give the update once the leads are interchanging here, as we see Jeff Harding with his final bowl of this 13th end. So, Ozzy, you can give us a quick update here of the other games. I know Stephen will probably be interested in the bronze medal game there featuring Kerry Mans of BC, but let's take a look at all 3.
Yep, so the bronze fours game is Ontario B up 13-8 on BCA after 10. Ontario B is up 13-12 on Alberta in the bronze men's pairs.
We'll probably give I give it a quick second there for the men's fours, because there's what looks like a 10-8 lead for Saskatchewan there after 10. So might end up getting to see the conclusion of that game there after hours. There, of course, the pairs tend to play a little bit quicker. So Steve Ogden looking to play that swinging draw line, will draw just enough, it appears, to potentially be up the single shot. Still a bit tricky there, the position. Yeah, it looks from here like probably the single point in favor of Nova Scotia.
Just the 2, right? How close is he? The second ball?
So a bit of a looser head here compared to any of the ones that we've seen throughout this game. And Dave Anderson, have you made the trip? Here, looks like he's come up a few meters short, so opportunity here for Steve Ogden to play that nice swinging forehand draw. Try to draw a second shot, really put Team Ontario under some pressure, and looks like it might hold. Will you hold there, Steve Ogden? Looks like it might just be enough. And Dave, have you made the trip again? It looks like he might be fairly similar to his last bowl. I don't know whether that would be enough. It's a big opportunity here for Steve Ogden if he can. So a touch of the jack, according to what Bezanson says here, it would be worth 5. Which, if he can get that, that would be a major turning point in this matchup. Laying that wide draw line, Steve Ogden. Will it get there? Will draw it perfectly to sit a count of at least 3. Final bowl here, Dave Anderson facing a count of at least 3, if not potentially, might be a 4th even at the back at that back draw. Pressure draw. And I don't think that's made the trip. Oh, might have fooled me, but it looks like it will be probably cut down to 2. Oh, it's just the 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So momentum definitely favoring the Blue Nosers out of Halifax. As we head into the 14th end here from Victoria. We thank you very much for tuning in with us. John Siteman joined alongside by Ozzie Chambers. And once again, we'd like to send a huge thank you there, that as the Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships would not be possible without the support of our continued sponsors. Thank you to the Government of Canada through Sport Canada, Kukri, and Nothers the Award Store for your continued support of lawn bowls in Canada. And like we mentioned, as we just see Steve Ogden send the jack back, as the jack did get sent into the ditch on Steve Bezanson's roll. That the World Bowls Championship is coming up there, starting on August 29th on the Gold Coast of Australia. We wish our team the best of luck there. Again, Ryan Bester back for another run in the men's singles and pairs. They joined alongside in the team of 5 by John Bazier, Cameron LaFrenz, Rob Law, and Owen Kirby. Of course, Owen making his international debut after many runs in the youth championship circuit. And then on the women's side, of course, Kelly McKeerhen, Jordan Koss, Bailey Van Stein, Emma Boyd, and Joanna Cooper, and we wish them all the best of luck. Of course, 2 feature games for Canada on the live streamed action, so stay tuned, of course, to Bowls Australia and World Bowls on that one. But it will be some late nights for our Canadian fans, as they'll be featured in Game 3 of the first days of each of the weeks. So Jeff Harding playing that nice draw around. Looks like it will be sitting the shot, but I don't know where it is, as of course they're just sitting in front. I'll move over there. It looks like a few feet up from the jack. So it looks like Nova Scotia does hold the point. So big bowl here for Jeff Harding as he looks to hold off the Nova Scotia champions out of the Wanderers Club in Halifax. Gets a little bit of a rub. Will it go enough? It will. Holding shot bowl.
Like here?
So Steve switching over to the forehand side, which his professionals have been swinging quite a distance over there, and looks like this one will be no different. Playing a nice firm draw. Will it go? There's Steve Bezanson. What a shot.
That was my white gonna be. That was my white. I think it's probably maybe that, but I wouldn't change it too much.
Jeff Harding asking his weight of what he needed to throw, and Dave Anderson saying you don't have to change much. You played it well. So I guess as the skips and leads interchange, Aussie, I guess in this instance, it could be an interesting shot because you could either see Ogden throw that backhand draw that he's been playing quite well all game, or he could also play a little bit of a conversion onto the one of Bezanson. Might have been some just checking on the timing of the games. Of course, 2¼ hours is the time limit for this medal round game.
Ignore it.
So Steve coming up a little bit short. Jeff Harding saying just ignore it. Just play that draw around that you've played pretty much all game.
22 minutes.
Looks like he will come a little bit short and narrow, but
Another time. Come on, bud.
and there he goes. So
Just looking for a little contact on the Nova Scotia.
Jacker ball.
Push the onto her.
now would sit the 3 if he can make this.
Jacker ball. You gotta be here. That's so good.
Calling Jacker Bowl. There's Steve Bezanson there at the head end. A little bit of a push follow. Did you get there? Might be just enough, potentially.
It looks like it's fading away. That ball there. Ignore it. You're far away. The bump into it. You bump into it, you get it to the next one. Ignore it.
It's definitely a close position there.
Yeah, but hold on. No, we've only got one ball on the head, right?
Jeff Harding saying they only have one ball in the head, so
Confident draw.
a dangerous situation there for the Ontarians. Out of James Gardens and Etobicoke. Hitting that spot there. Have you made the trip there,
Flip it. Come on.
Dave? Coming up short, so big opportunity here for the Nova Scotians.
Come on.
Down by 1, looking for a connection here to try to sit their 4. Final bowl here for Steve Ogden and Steve Bezanson out of Halifax, looking There will. Oh, and he will get the jack in the ditch. What a! I know it wasn't the plan there, Hawsey, but what a shot there from the Nova Scotia skip there, the 7-time Canadian champion, looking for his 8th.
So 1 on a tape for Nova Scotia right now as Anderson throws the last hole for Ontario and
Pretty much, honestly, it's in a position there where you're just trying to cut one out of the count, but will you make the trip? There's Dave Anderson. Will come up short, so it could be a measure to take the lead in this 14th end. What a turn of events here.
Oh yeah. Give me a hand here. Get the umpires. Umpire.
As we'll see, umpire called. Honestly, from past years of experience there, those ones of that when there's a jack in the ditch and measuring to a bowl in play, a lot of players don't tend to play it. They tend to measure it properly, so better to get the ones with a bit more experience to get down there. Especially in a matchup like this, where a single shot could be the difference between championship glory and coming up that little bit short in the biggest game of the year. Looks like it might be really close. So 2 to Nova Scotia. Wow. What a turn of events there is now, after trailing pretty much since the start of this matchup, the Nova Scotia champions out of the Wanderers Lawn Bowls Club in Halifax will take a lead in this matchup by a score of 11 to 10. We have 4 ends to play here from Victoria. So it looks like the team of Ogden and Besançon changing a bit of the tactics, going a little bit of a longer length. Potentially looking at what worked well in that last end and trying to replicate that once again. As we see, Steve draws probably to the tee. So looking for an adjustment on his next, but we'll see Jeff Harding look to better that. Becoming pretty similar, so it's one of those cases of anything you can do, I can do better. And the Harding just leapfrogging it in to take the shot bowl, but Besançon looks like he's made a good adjustment here. We'll sail a little bit on through, so a bit of an intriguing spot for this. Oh, as it appears,
Alberta.
Looks like Alberta has won the bronze medal in the men's pairs by a score of, I believe it was 19 to 13, but the important thing that we can confirm is the men's pairs bronze medal will go to Alberta. So update again on the fours games, since I know we've had a question there from Karen Will we'll update both of them. It's a 12-12 tie after 12 in the men's fours final between Alberta A and Saskatchewan. And in the bronze medal game is Ontario B with a 15-8 lead after 12 over British Columbia A. That is Gary Pickering versus Kerry Mans. So hopefully that gets you what you need over there, Karen. As we back to our feature game there, we see Anderson trying to will that bowl of Jeff Harding's on, but comes up short.
The second one, if it comes straight back.
Again, nice to see there a huge crowd here at Juan de Fuca cheering on the players. Pretty much not a seat in the house, particularly on the side by the clubhouse, but still some space if you're in the area. Feel free to get on down here to the West Shore Recreation Complex. So big bowl here for Dave Anderson, looking to correct on that bowl of Jeff Harding's and try to draw the shot. So it's just behind Jack High, so shot bowl belongs to Team Ontario. So Zanson calling on Ogden's bowl to stay out a little bit, but will it come down enough? It will not. So Dave Anderson looking to correct on his first. Looks like it will come up a little narrow though. So probably about a meter gap, if I were to guess. There, Ozzy. I don't know if you'd be able to get an idea on that one here. So either way, it's going to be a nice wide draw round. So on to this final bowl here, and number 15. Dave, have you made the trip again? It looks like it will come up short. Definitely a 1 for sure. Oh, 1. We'll wait for the signal there. I know that he kicked a bunch of balls out of the head, but maybe that was more because he knew that we were commentating on it and wanted to see what the head looked like on the measure. And 2 shots signaled in favor of Jeff Harding and Dave Anderson, so a 12-11 lead through 15 ends of play here from Juan de Fuca. We thank you very much for tuning in to watch what has been an exciting clash here from the 2023 Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships. And we'll send a huge thank you out to Nothers, the award store, who they have been the official awards provider of Bowls Canada. For more than 50 years, Nothers, the award store, has been a supplier of awards and recognition products to to sports organizations, schools, professional associations, corporate markets and clubs, and more. Nothers has the capacity to service everything from national championships to local leagues with club custom medals and awards, signage, and promotional products. Thank you to Nothers for supporting the 2023 Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships. And of course, we'll be seeing some of those medals handed out very shortly, as we'll have the closing ceremonies following this game and the and the two others remaining in progress, as we see beautiful bowl there. Steve Bezanson just drawing about a foot above Jack high. So you'd honestly expect that with a game like this, both teams pretty much have been right down to the wire and not much holding each other apart there, as it's again one shot the difference. Eight ends in favor of Anderson and Harding, 7 in favor of Ogden and Bezanson. But the multiples pretty much favoring the team of Anderson and Harding, and that's been the difference. So I don't know, Ozzy, I think did he signal one down?
Yeah, Ontario's one down.
Trying to play around there is Jeff Harding. Will he get enough? Looks like he will fall a little bit short. So opportunity here, Steve Bezanson. Nice to see Kevin McKay tuning in from Dunedin, New Zealand, and where apparently it's 5 degrees there right now. Nice to see you tuning in there. Hey, Kevin, I know Ozzy, you made a trip down a few years ago to play in the New Zealand Open there. I know that you enjoyed that experience there for sure. And I believe you played Peter Bellis there.
I did play Peter.
Yeah, the New Zealand Blackjacks legend there. That must have been quite the experience to play a player of his credentials.
It is.
So we'll see here. Skips bowls here from Dave Anderson. Down by 1 here in the national final. Looking for a bit of a connection. Will he get there enough? It looks like it will hold out. So Steve Bezanson calling on Ogden to play the forehand draw, that nice wide forehand that he's been really loving the entire time. Looks like it will come up just about a meter back. So I expect to see an adjustment here from Anderson. Playing a bit aggressively here with this. Looks like he may have not thrown it far enough, so. Bezanson signaling one up. Looks fairly similar to his last. Will it come down enough? Still a good home. You'd expect this would be a big end here if Ogden and Bezanson could take a multiple to take a lead in this game. Bezanson willing his skipper on here, looking for a championship draw here. He's looking to probably take off a few feet off this bowl. Final bowl here in number 16. Steve Ogden, the champion out of the. Oh, what a attempt there! As it might be just. Was that just the single there? It looks like it was the single, so quite a dramatic matchup here. 12-12 tie.
Time will probably be the factor in this game.
Well, so it is now. This is probably gonna be it, actually, because it will be 2 1/4 hours coming up. Time right now is 3:40. They're saying 4 minutes there. So this could be the final end here from the men's pairs final. Let's see how it goes here. Okay. Oops. We'll switch over camera angles there. Just get a bit of the zoom back out here. There. Thanks there, Greg. I think he said we might have had a cord or something. I think it might have been one of the cords holding up our lovely shelter up here on the top of the Q Center. As we see Bezanson try to draw another, comes up a little bit short. And yeah, John Tupper, yeah, it will be 2 1/4 hours is the time limit for this game. It's nearing potentially the conclusion of that time limit. As looks like we have a final over there on rink number 2. As it sounds like it might be Ontario B. I got that one over British Columbia A. Jeff Harding trying to navigate the port. Will it hold? Don't know if it was enough. Steve Bezanson looking to draw around on the backhand side. Will it hold up enough? It looks like it will. So at least one shot in favor of the Nova Scotians out of the Wanderers Lawn Bowls Club in Halifax. It sounds like John McDonald has made a beautiful draw over there in the men's fours final there to draw the shot against the Saskatchewan champions. Harding just pushing up the bowl of Steve Steve Bezanson. So Aussie, I guess now if you're Dave Anderson, out of the James Gardens Club in Toronto, like pretty much it's time to buckle down and show why you've won 4 Canadian championships.
All on weight control on this possible final end. So.
So Steve Ogden playing that, and that will
This will be
be the final end there. So Steve Ogden drawing just about a foot above Jack High. So this could be a crucial shot there, as Team Nova Scotia will not have the last bowl. The last bowl will belong to Dave Anderson out of Ontario. So as soon as this game's complete, we'll try to get a little bit of the celebration, but then move quickly over to the conclusion of the men's fours final, as that game looks like it's either tied or within 1. So stay tuned for that one.
Work. Incoming, David.
Awesome, great.
Come on, Dave.
Good year.
Yeah!
And what a bowl there. Dave Anderson draws back toucher.
Run at it. Well, I think I would. Yeah, you gotta be here. Yeah, for a miracle.
So
Not gonna run.
Steve Ogden being called on to take a run at this one.
Playing pretty good. At 1 point, played it right.
Looks like it will be a little bit wide.
Okay, if it goes that way. Yes. Not if it goes that way. I would just go to beat this ball. If he does get the pick, he goes there, so he's gonna touch this.
So definitely a challenging situation there for the Nova Scotians, as they'll be down to their last bowl facing game. Jeff Harding calling, essentially just get it on the center line, put it in his eye. So update it as well there, the gold medal game of the men's fours, as it is a 13-all scoreline there against the Alberta versus Saskatchewan game. So what we see here, Steve Ogden coming to take a look. So I guess, Ozzy, if you're Steve, like, what are you doing here? Because it's a tough option no matter what you have.
How would you fight the bull and go after him?
Yeah, to me, looking at the angle, there's the front bowl of Steve Bezanson's. If he's able, actually I think that's one of his own. If he can even play a firm onto that, try to get connection, probably just off nose. That's what you would need to become at least sending this to a last bowl. Steve Ogden. Down match.
That's it.
And it will be the title in favor of Dave Anderson and Jeff Harding with a 13-12 win over Team Nova Scotia. Their congratulations to them. And we'll quickly move over to the conclusion of the fours final there, as they're down to skips bowls between Alberta and Saskatchewan.
As Saskatchewan holds 2 in the head, with it as a 13-13 tied, playing the 15.
All-star manager, right on. Look at those guys.
So headed down to skips bowls there. Some big stuff here expected for this final end here.
There you go, hey!
So we have the scoreboard updated. 13 tie. It appears Saskatchewan holding game. Pat Bird looking to defend his title. Looks close here. Will be a little bit heavy. So John Patulli will have the last bowl. So we'll quickly, now that we've gone on to this rink, we'll mention there the Alberta champions out of the Calgary Lawn Bowls Club: Pat Bird, Francis Stanton, Mike O'Reilly, and John McDonald. Again, last year's champions there after defeating our team out of Nova Scotia when they were in Burlington. They facing off against the team of John Patulli, Carter Watson, Brandon Watson, and Murray Patulli out of Regina. So John Patulli, the left-hander, coming in on the backhand side. Coming up probably about a yard short. Shot ball still belonging to Saskatchewan. So down to the final bowl, and that will be in the hands of Pat Bird.
Comment. Got it went to 348.
Will it be enough to send this to a final bowl, or will Saskatchewan take the championship? Down to this. Looks close. Looks real close. Oh, and it will not be enough. It will be Saskatchewan with a 14-13 win. They will take home the Canadian Men's Fours Championship. No, that is not the Saskatchewan fans screaming. That is the zip line. But congratulations to the team of Jonathan Patulli, Carter Watson, Brandon Watson, and Murray Patulli on picking up the win in the Men's Fours gold medal game. So as we close off this broadcast there and await the closing ceremonies there. Ozzy, any closing thoughts on what we saw in this men's medal round? Some excellent games right down to the wire.
Yeah, with two new champions crowned. It was a great week of bowls. And congrats to Saskatchewan and Ontario A on their 2 championships.
Yeah, and so there we have it, the men's pairs gold medalists, the team of David Anderson and Jeff Harding, followed by Nova Scotia, the silver medalists there, Steve Ogden and Steve Bezanson, and Alberta, Jesse Wilkinson and Dwayne Haug take home the bronze. The fours medalists, the gold, will head to Regina, to Saskatchewan A, the team of Jonathan Patulli, Carter Watson, Brandon Watson, and Murray Patulli. The silver medalists, the champions from last year, team Alberta, Pat Bird, Francis Standen, Mike O'Reilly, and John McDonald. And the bronze to Gary Pickering, Pierre Vanderhoot. Gary Pickering, Bill McCollum, Mike Spadafora, and Pierre Vanderhoot. So there we have it. That will be the final here from Victoria. So stick around. We'll have the closing ceremonies for this championship coming up in just a little bit. So on behalf, we'll sign off from commentary so that we can go down and celebrate with the players. Former my broadcast colleague, Ozzy Chambers, our colleagues throughout the week there, Ryan Stadnick and Laura Seed, and everyone here at Bowls Canada. This is John Siteman signing off from Victoria. Stay tuned. The closing ceremonies of the 2023 Canadian Lawn Bowling Championship